Good morning, everybody. So this is our daily astrology weather forecast coming from Honolulu this morning. I'm here on vacation for about a week. So we'll be seeing some amazing scenery this week. So there's a few things going on. We have two exact hard aspects today. We have the moon in Libra, which is a little bit easier than having the moon in Virgo, so we're not running around trying to clean everything up like a mad person. The moon in Libra encourages getting along, and that is challenged by these difficult aspects between Venus and Pluto and Mars and Saturn. I'm going to try to speak a little quieter here because everybody's still sleeping in this hotel. I'm always the first one up. I'm like the earliest rooster. Doesn't matter where in the world I am. So the sesquiquadrate between Mars and Saturn can make it much more difficult to just find an easy path to finishing what it is that we start, initiate. It's harder for us to form a straight plan, a plan that encourages a straight course of action. We tend to get more wrapped up with what could go wrong, overthinking, being more focused on negative outcomes. And so it's harder for us to take action in a way where we aren't hedging. When we do hedge, when we do approach something with an idea that it probably won't work out, we will not put our all into it because there's an assumption of failure. And if we think we're probably going to fail, we're not going to put as much energy into it. So we have a holding back. This can make it harder for us to engage in relationships, all kinds of relationships, in a way that we are spontaneous, open. And we also have this difficult aspect, semi-square, between Venus and Pluto. So this is another social planet that is involved in some difficulties today. So we approach anything that we want with this level of intensity, with a difficult aspect between Venus and Pluto, that can make it likely that we will fail. We don't just let things develop with Venus-Pluto aspects. We want to make sure that our desires are borne out. We want to make sure that we get what we want. So attunement with another is hard to establish when we have these difficult aspects between Venus and Pluto, because we don't want to lose. We don't want what we want to get away. And so we aren't ourselves. We aren't relaxed. We aren't allowing, because we are trying to keep something. We're trying to have something in a place, or somebody in a place or in a position where we know we are not going to suffer loss or insecurity. So we tend to behave out of fear and not love when we have the difficult aspects between Venus and Pluto. It's about securing something, keeping something that personally enriches us. So be careful how you are treating people today, especially those that you have a sexual or romantic connection with, because we can be selfish, and we can want to keep somebody or something in a way that actually inhibits real love, real affection, real appreciation to be able to flourish. This is also something that has us looking at some of our financial investments, not just romantic investments or investments in friendships, but financial investments with an eye for flaw. What is it that isn't panning out for us in terms of giving us the kind of reward or return that we want? And this is a time where we can be like, well, it ain't good enough. It ain't good enough. I need to pull back, and I need to reinvest in such a way, or I need to add something to what I'm doing so I get the outcome that I'm looking for. So when it comes to finances, this can be a successful aspect to have because it makes us reconsider. It's more difficult to handle in personal relationships because there is a self-serving side to things we have to punch through, and a lot of people are not willing to do that in relationships because it's not about love. It's about keeping something. It's about security. And if that comes at the price of the other person's self-expression or security, well, we can find a way to justify that. So be careful how you treat people today.